All right, shalom, shalom. First, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh is the Most High God. Yahweh Shai is the Son of God, the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son. Again, Yahweh is the Most High God. Yahweh Shai is the Son of God, the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son. All right, this lesson is going to be concerning on how Esau destroys the earth. Right, because ultimately Esau, he traveleth with iniquity. Right? Start off with this lesson. I'm going to get Revelation chapter 11, verse 13. Verse 18, Slakia. It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they shall be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." Right, so the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to destroy them which destroys the earth. Right now, this earth has been given into the hand of Esau Edom. And all Esau Edom have done to this earth is destroy it, contaminate it, pollute it. No? And let's, get a little understanding on them that destroy the earth. Let's get Isaiah real quick. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 4. It says, "The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth doeth languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants of the earth." Salaki, let's read it again. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 5. It says, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof." So when you go into that word defiled, if I'm not mistaken, it goes into pollute, to contaminate, etc. Right, so ultimately Esau Edom, he's, polluting the earth with his chemicals, right, with his inventions, with his devices, right. He putting chemtrails in the air, right. He's poisoning the food, right. He's poisoning, he making fake, fruit and vegetables, GMOs, right. He's putting his chemicals in, all manner of things. Right, even just cause this man is in rulership on his earth, the earth is not bringing forth its sufficient amount, if you will. This earth is supposed to be flourishing, right? Just like America, which when you go into America before Columbus, before Esau came, it was a flourishing land, which the Native Indians dwelt in, man. The so-called Native Indians. It was a flourishing land until this man came and corrupted it, polluted it. Verse 5, it says, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant." Right? Let's get this. Let's get Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 18. It says, "Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good." So, this man, he destroyed much good. Which, when you go into the origin of this beginning, or the origin of this world, the beginning, or when you go into the book of Genesis, which means origin or beginning, it will tell you that the fruits, the seeds, the land, just basically the land and stuff like that, it was good in the sight of the powers, if you will. So it's good for a land to flourish. It was supposed to be like that. But Esau, he destroyed that which is good, if you will. In fact, let's get that real quick. Let's get Genesis. Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. It says, "And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and a fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herbs yielding seed after his kind, and a tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God said, and God saw that it was good." Right, so this land supposed to flourish. This world supposed to flourish. You know, you got all manner of factories set up around the world because of Esau and his doings. Which, you know, those factories came from Esau ultimately, because he was the first one to, you know, think of, you know, things like that. Putting fake clouds in a year. Half you don't know, there's, you know, some of these clouds is fake, man. You know, chemicals in these chemtrails. Which when you go into, when you go research, you know, to chemtrails, it connects to, Baal, you know, the idol Baal, if you will. No. So ultimately, Esau Edom, he's managing the earth, like it says in the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, if I'm not mistaken. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, which that's Esau Edom. Which when you go into the book of Micah or Malachi, it tell you that Esau is the border of wickedness, if I'm not mistaken. Esau, he's managing the earth in a bad way. It's bad management, if you will. That's why, you know, ultimately, even our food, man. Right to the point where, you know, when you go research that the food they put in, you know, the stuff they put in food is making, you know, these young men be effeminate. Hey, man. Putting pork, you know, in all manner of pork, you know, so many foods, man. You know, Esau, you know, because America is a, you know, a big consumer of seafood, if you will. And these sea animals that's supposed to be at the bottom of the the sea, the lake, you know, the water, ultimately it's supposed to, you know, clean it, if you will. These sea animals is supposed to clean. Any unclean sea animal is supposed to clean the sea, clean the water. So that right there, just to show you that Esau Edom, by Esau Edom transgressing the laws, which is what? Eating unclean foods. By Esau Edom, you know, transgressing the law, he what? Destroyed the earth even more. Bro, let's get it's a larger building while I pull this out. Let's get Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 17, verse 5. Right, it says, he took also the seed of the land and planted it in a fruitful field. He placed it by great waters and set it as a willow tree. Right, so that seed of the land is talking about Israel. And being brought by slave ships to the land of America. Right, it says he took also of the seed of the land and planted it in a fruitful field. He placed it by great waters and set it as a willow tree. So this land was a fruitful field, if you will. Land, of great waters. Before Esau, Edom, America was, the land of America was flourishing. Right? But now look at it. I'm going to close out on this. Get Genesis real quick. Genesis chapter 4, verse. This is going into Cain, which, if you don't know about Cain and Esau, they similar, if you will. Which I say, Cain or Esau is the reincarnation of Cain. Right, this is a spiritual book. Genesis chapter 4, verse 11, it says, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which have, matter of fact, let's jump down to verse 12. It says, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. So this land is not bringing forth the sufficient amount that it's supposed to bring forth, man. Everything is, being contaminated and polluted. Right? I mean, there's so many things to go into, man, on how this world is being fucked up. It's being, polluted, man, destroyed. Because the inhabitants that's on it, man. Because the people that's on it. That's why Esau, Edom, he gotta be cut off. Right? Because in the world to come, which the exalted mountain, or that rulership, if you will, the kingdom of Yashar Allah, or the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. The kingdom of Yahweh Shai is going to, rule this earth. And, in righteousness, man. Right? The kingdom of Yahweh Shai, the kingdom of Israel, and the world to come is going to rule this earth. In the best way possible, man. Everything is going to be flourishing. The trees and the plants is going to be singing for joy, if you will. I'm going to close out on that. Lord willing, this video was edifying. Double honors to the elders of the house of David. Peace and blessings unto the elect. Salute and shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. And, all praises are, all praises, honor, and glory. And thanks be to my power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Shalom.